We're recording. Well, welcome every morning. What an exciting day this is. It's Halloween. It's also October 31st, which for all of us, we know is a deadline. And we have learned from Carrie Wilkerson, we love deadlines because deadlines mean that we are accountable, that we're working hard, we're working towards a goal, and they keep us moving. So hopefully part of your day today is going to be looking at your back office, looking at your business and seeing what impact you can make for yourself as well as your team come November 15th, right, for our paychecks. So we do wish that you're all safe and happy tonight. And for a lot of you, you're coming back on the heels of Leaders Retreat. And I don't know about you, this is actually the 4th year that I've earned it, the 3rd Leaders Retreat that I've attended. And yet I come home just as inspired, if not more inspired, from the things that we learned and the things that we saw. If y'all are just joining us, make sure that you're muting yourself if you don't mind while we're going. Thank you. But re-inspired, re-motivated, as if you could not be more motivated, going to Leaders Retreat, experiencing what we experienced, y'all being around 4,400 Plexus people that are at the top 1% of our company and getting to experience that camaraderie, that one Plexus, hearing from our amazing corporate speakers from Alec and Tarl. And again, the thing that I always feel like is driven home is that the consistency. You know, if we were a company that had to depend on flattery, that we had to depend on antics and, oh, look over here at this kind of car salesman kind of mentality, we would not see the consistency that we have seen, or that I know that we have seen for the last 4 years when these events have occurred. And they're just as genuine in real life as they appear to be online and in the messages. And so I hope today that what I'm able to share, and that we're all able to share that we're at Leaders Retreat, is that excitement, is that remotivation, and that as we go into the last 60 days of this year, that we really do position ourselves well for what's to come in 2017. And I know all of you are here. Thank you for being here with us. We appreciate your commitment to your business. We appreciate your commitment to this rank to Ruby. We know that it has not been easy, and yet nothing in life is worth having if it is easy. It really isn't. So we're going to cover, today's call will not be as long as our typical Monday calls, which is great because I'm sure you need to get to work on your IPAs and get done what you need to do for your families. But we want to make sure that we kind of highlight some things that happened this last weekend. And then you'll be hearing from each of us on a daily basis with kind of what our biggest takeaway was and how to put that into action. Because without action, a takeaway can be, oh, well, that was a nice thought. That was kind of inspiring, but it won't move you to where you want to go. I'm going to start first with dates. So if you have pen and paper and you have not received an email from Plexus, I want to make sure that we cover some things with some dates upcoming. Tomorrow is November 1st. And tomorrow on November 1st, we will be Plexus is launching a new mobile experience. Y'all, this is huge. This is huge. And I know there's some caution, right, about getting excited about anything back office related, because we've had a few bumps here and there, but I promise you they have tested and retested. A lot of y'all know that I'm on a weekly IT call with Stephen Oxenden, who is the head of IT for Plexus Corporate. There's a small group of us who are in constant communication with corporate regarding what's going on in terms of back office, in terms of shipping and customer experience. They have been talking about this mobile experience for 8 or 9 months. It has been worked on. It has been practiced. It has been tested over and over again. If you go into your back office today or tomorrow, I'm assuming based on what they shared with us, that there will be some tutorials and kind of some explanation of what this is going to look like. Basically, what I loved that they talked about is that the ordering experience or joining experience required something like 37 clicks in order to get to an end result, in order to get an order or to get a welcome email saying you've joined Plexus. I don't know about y'all, but if you have Amazon Prime, you know that you can one click And we are in a society that the faster we can get something done, the more likely we're going to come back to it, have a positive experience. So they've reduced it. I'm not seeing right in my notes exactly where it was, but it's been drastically reduced. So that's exciting. The other thing is that it's going to have pop-up options where you click on Plexus block and it'll say, how about add slim? So it's going to help you and your customers and your team members to have a more pleasant experience and have the potential to increase your sales, which is awesome, because we know that when we can capture somebody in front of the ordering experience, they're more likely to purchase and increase their purchase than if we had to explain, which I don't know about y'all, but I've often had to go back and go, oh, you didn't see that on our website, and have to walk someone through that. This now will eliminate so much of that for you. More information will be coming. As well, tomorrow we will be launching our Sunny Plus Share blog. And we have a new, most of you know that Vincent Orlek left last month, or maybe the end of August. He's no longer our social media director, but we now have Julie Boyster. Julie spoke briefly at Leaders Retreat on Friday, and what I loved is that she's encompassing a larger or more global picture for what our company needs in terms of social media. It's not just about how can we get on Snapchat and have a filter. It's not just about what are the rules on Facebook or Instagram. She is going to take us to the next level through corporate help of doing this Sunny Plus Share blog. We got to see a little sneak peek of this. And again, thinking about our customers and thinking about staying present and in front of our audience, Plexus is now making it easier for us, not only as the ambassador on the receiving end of information, but for our customers and our potentials. The whole premise of Sunny Plus Share is thinking about our company in terms of health and happiness. Tarl talked about this. Alec reaffirmed it. It was kind of the theme throughout, that we want to become known as the earmarked company for health and happiness. That's what's so great about that, y'all, is that we're not put in a box and limited to, well, we just address health. We've talked about on this team as leaders so often about when you are posting on Facebook, you're trying to create this image and picture of what your life is like and how fun it is and how enriched it is since you found Plexus. And that's what sells, y'all. We can compare ourselves and we can talk about our ProBio 5 and say, well, we're better than what's on the shelf at Sprouts, or we're better than what's on the shelf at Whole Foods, or I can get from my doctor or chiropractor. But when people see your life and say, wow, or our company and say, they've got it together. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I pick up a magazine based on the image and the feeling that it gives me, right? I don't know if you guys do that or not, but that's really what's super exciting about this blog. It's going to have recipes, going to have suggestions, really, again, painting that picture of health and happiness. And again, I feel like it's going to help drive our business in a really quality way that's providing education, but also marketing. So super excited about that. Okay, November 3rd, and that is Thursday, we will have registration open for Super Saturday. Y'all, this is huge. And this is something as a leader that you need to get behind. You need to first register yourself. I do not want to hear. Last year, I cannot tell you how many of my leaders were like, oh, I haven't registered for Super Saturday. I better hurry up and do that before spots run out. We have all experienced that we do run out of seats. We run out of seats at convention. We run out of seats at Super Saturday. Do not do that. Do not shortchange yourself for whatever. And I don't know how much it's going to cost. If it's $29, if it's $19, if it's $50, y'all put your money where your mouth is. Show your team by example. Register. And I would strongly suggest incenting your team to get registered as quickly as possible. You know, I'm thinking about let's keep a little graphic, little map on our team page and see who's going where and see what venue is going to be biggest. Now, obviously, Dallas should be the biggest for my particular team, but then maybe we'd have a runner-up to see, okay, is Little Rock going to be the biggest? Is Sacramento going to be the biggest? Yay, Rainy. But there's 32 different options. We want to see everyone on our team there that can be. Here's the other thing. Even if they don't think that maybe it's not 100% that they know they can make it, go ahead and get the ticket anyway. Be proactive and think about, if I can't go or if my team member can't go, think about paying that forward. Think about a new ambassador and how exciting it would be to be a brand new ambassador and then be exposed to Super Saturday. And the one thing that I want to talk about just a little bit, I just want to teach you, is that we got a sneak preview of what is coming on Super Saturday. Two big things. The one big thing that we were all shocked and kind of left dumbfounded on Saturday was that the convention location will be announced at Super Saturday. Y'all want to be there because you want to know where we're going, right? And so that will be released that day. And then secondly, the roadmap to ranking. Is it roadmap to rank up? Roadmap to rank up. There's too many R's. Will be specifically addressed, rolled out, and taught at Super Saturday. Y'all, this again, I'm saying huge a lot, but this is really, really a big deal. This is amazing. Rank Up Roadmap. Thank you, Rainey. The Rank Up Roadmap has been designed by 5 Diamond ambassadors with corporate to look specifically at what is the most important thing to know when you first join. What is going to be that thing that gets me from being a brand new sign up to a silver ambassador? And then once you're a silver ambassador, the way that you need to focus and approach your business is a little bit different as you work your way to gold. And so this will be a comprehensive training that will really, it's going to be a set of tools that we will have access to that will include videos, emails, specific trainings. There'll be pie charts, y'all, with how to spend your time so that you know, as a Ruby ambassador, which you're all working towards, your time is going to look a little bit different than a silver ambassador in the way that you approach your business on a daily basis. And so, guys, this is going to be a game changer in terms of all those people that you've shared Plexus with. Maybe you've had join your team and then you don't live local, or you can't seem to work out your schedule to even do a Zoom with them to get them trained. Everything is going to come specifically from corporate that then you will have access to know where they're at and to really be able to dialogue and say, hey, did you watch that Rainey Anderson video? This is really going to help you in thinking about how you set goals. It will be super comprehensive. In combination with that, we already have our online, the Success on Demand online services, which we're focusing on monthly themes. So combined together, y'all, again, we're becoming an earmarked company that is providing everyone with the tools to have that immediate success. The other really cool caveat to all of that training that's coming is that for that new ambassador, we know so many people come in and say, I am not selling, I'm not sharing, I just came in to have my membership wholesale. So there will be a track that they can choose to say, you know what, I'm sticking with wholesale, and we will give them information from corporate that will align with those feelings and values. And then if they're like, nope, I'm ready, I'm Fast Start Gold, I'm going to turn Fast Start Gold, I want to be Emerald next July, then that program will be another track that they can choose. So again, it's going to eliminate some of that, which I know we've all talked about, like, well, I'm going to scare them if I talk to them about Fast Start Gold. I don't want to tell them about it. But so that information will be available and easy to access for every single person joining your team, even before they receive their success kit and their welcome pack. So super, super, super exciting. That is coming. So that by itself is reason enough for you to be at Super Saturday, right? Okay, so everybody register November 3rd. During the month of November, we have an additional incentive, which is exciting. You know, usually in the past, Plexus has done a great job of providing us some incentives, but it's almost like, well, there were so many people that did well in that incentive that we're going to take a breather and give everybody a couple of months. And Plexus is committed, and I love hearing from our Vice President of Sales, from Sarah Biergard, that she is really in it, guys, to keep you constantly motivated. That's why we have the 300 Club. That's why we have the 500 Club, Consistency Club. And so for the month of November, you just need to have any combination of the 3 or 3. And the 3 or 3, we're becoming more and more familiar with this. 3 customers of 50 PV or more, or 3 ambassadors with a welcome pack, or any combination of that. So you might sign up one new ambassador with a welcome pack and have 2 new customers. You might have 1 new customer and 2 new ambassadors. So any combination, and y'all are going to get that beautiful Plexus organizer calendar and / planner that you probably saw pictures posted of in the last 2 days. This is a leather-bound planner. I love that it's specific to Plexus, your Plexus business, but you can use it for other things as well. But it's going to have all the Plexus corporate dates already in it. It has places for you to journal and do your gratitude, to keep our mind in that place of thankfulness and drawing in instead of being that repelling negative kind of thing, just keeping you kind of grounded for your appointments, for your goals. Y'all, this is great. And y'all that know me know that I love my Sharpies and my Erin Condren, but I have to tell you, my brand new Erin Condren came on Friday, and then we learned about this yesterday. So I was like, dang it. But I'm still super excited. I have a goal to earn it. Every single one of you should have a goal to earn it, and you should encourage your team to have a goal to earn it. Here's the deal. Whether you're into planners or not, guys, we know that in November, if you do a combination of any of those 3, your business is going to be in a better position going into the holidays, into December, ready to harvest in January. Ready to turn those customers into ambassadors, ready to get those ambassadors excited about growing their own business. Again, what I love about it is it's twofold. It has a twofold purpose. It incents you for a little prize fun thing that will help your business, but it will also help grow your business, which is ultimately the goal. So that's the incentive for November. And then our last date that I want to make sure you write down is November 14th. November 14th, we will have slim and block samples available once again in your back office. Y'all, again, what better combination of products to be promoting in November and December than the slim block combo? All of those people that are going to tell you that they're not ready to make a lifestyle change or a regimen change, we can easily share block as a go-to and kind of safety net, if you will, for December. Really think about, you guys, we always need to kind of stay in that mindset of thinking about what's going on around us to best approach our audience. And I love that Plexus is giving us this opportunity to have these slim block combo samples right before Thanksgiving. I would order them November 14th. Here's the deal. Just knowing our past history, they could potentially sell out. So I would get in there and order. Our teams, we're all working towards now without that conditional backup order necessarily required to be commission qualified. I know with my team is that we're really working towards being over that 100 PV by the 15th of the month. How perfect is this to go along with that, to add to your order this month, to be armed and ready? Especially even those new wholesale ambassadors. This is a great thing to say, hey, this will make it easier to share with somebody if you have these on hand. And you can sell those. You can carry them in your purse. Most women have $10 in their purse, so you can turn around and sell it for $10 if you want to and say, hey, I really think you would love this. Try this. So we'll save questions at the end. The only other thing that I really wanted to talk about, because I feel like we're going to probably do a little bit more digging in on her training throughout the week, is just mention Carrie Wilkerson. We had her, we were so privileged to have her once again be our keynote speaker yesterday, or Saturday, whenever it was. The days are all meshing together. Sorry, y'all. But she talked about our DNA and that we're all come into Plexus with some similar DNA, but we don't all have the DNA for leadership. But the great news is that we can all acquire the DNA for leadership. And I want to just challenge you, if you are feeling like you are lacking in a particular area, this training was really, really helpful. I know I'm going to do a video specifically to this. I think that, again, like I said, I think that Rainey and Heather and Crede and Lauren will be touching on this throughout the week. I will give you just a tease of what those 3 letters stand for, and then maybe let them dive into what it is, because I really want you to be able to process it outside of a checklist kind of a meeting like we're having today. But the D is for your destination. And I think all of us on this page, our quick destination is Ruby, but ultimately our destination is all the same, that we want to be Diamond. So I love that our Diamond starts with a D. So if you want to think about destination Diamond, we're all on Destination Diamond team page, which is Celeste and Jen Hawkins' team page. But really think about your destination. Where are you headed with your business? What are you doing right now? And where is that pointing to? You know, we can get in the car. We do this sometimes with our kids, and we'll play the game like we don't have anything planned. We'll let everybody take a turn to say, turn right, turn left, go straight at every stoplight. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you're going to end up. You got to know where you're going. So make sure that you really know what your destination is. She also talked about N, and N stood for narration or your narrative. What are you listening to? What are you saying? What are you speaking over yourself and your team? What are you saying about our company and your business? Because what you say and what you speak is what you believe, and ultimately becomes your truth, whether or not it's the truth or not. So N is for narrative. And then A is for action. And you know, we can say all day long what we want, where we want to go, and we can say that all the right things, but if we don't put any action behind it, we're sitting at home. We're going to let people pass us by. And if there wasn't, again, like I said, the one thing that stood out to me out of 4,400 people is that there were people there that joined in July, y'all. I mean, June, that were there, that had earned Leaders Retreat. Let that sink in. As somebody that didn't get as far as I wanted to in terms of growing my business over the summer, that kind of hit home to say, well, if somebody brand new in June could earn this trip, what should I have done with my time? And that all comes down to action. So there was lots and lots and lots of great things. Like I said, we heard from Alec. I love that Alec kind of is the heart and the little heartbeat of our company in terms of the warm and fuzzy, and he definitely did not disappoint. He reminded us of bigger picture, why we're all in this thing together, and why this company is going to be around, whether you choose to be around it or not. It will be here and for years to come. We also heard from Tarl, looking ahead and looking forward, and knowing that what we do really is about bettering the lives of people, and that health and happiness kind of space in the corporate world, as well as just in our own worlds personally and experience, and what we do, and that Plexus really does enrich the lives of others. We had our Check It 5K, and that was lots of fun. Y'all probably saw some of our pictures. What I love is that corporate always does a great job of connecting what they want their ambassadors to do with what they have people at home office do. And so they had, throughout the month of October, have been doing incentives, having people wear pink, and raising funds. I think they've raised $3,000 between just the employees for the month to donate. So again, just great things coming, a great collaboration of things from home office with us. You know, it isn't a perfect company. We are going to still have bumps and bruises along the way, and yet we'll be stronger for it. And I think that my faith was just rebirthed again, as it is every time that I'm at a corporate event, this Leaders Retreat. So now, Rainey, if there's anything additionally that you want to add that I did not cover, or if there's specific questions to anything that we talked about, I guess we can open up.
I will just say great job of the recap. You know, what I absolutely love about this event is that you're in a room with like-minded people, and you have an opportunity to really glean wisdom and support and encouragement for those ambassadors that are doing exactly what you're doing. And you know, we all have a destination in mind in our business, and it's such a treat to be there. And so I love that you covered the recap, but here's the thing that none of us can ever illustrate for you, and that's the experience of actually being there. So I pray upon you and ask that if you haven't already, that somewhere in your office, in something that you look at on a day-to-day basis, you make it your goal to be at Leaders Retreat next year. It is absolutely an event that cannot be replaced by any other event that we have. Not Emerald Extravaganza, not convention. It's its own, not Super Saturday. It's its own unique event. And I promise you, if you make it a goal to be there next year, you will have done something just in setting that goal amazing for your business. So great job, Jen. I think we can absolutely open it up for questions at this point. You can hear my voice is a little off, and that's only because we did a lot of talking this week, and it was great. Wouldn't replace it, but I do feel a little scratchy. But it's an impactful read. And at the end of the day, if you started to approach your business as if, so look at it this way. So success, people often look at success as, or success and failure as two spectrums, right? You're either on this end or you're on this end. But actually what happens is failure and success are very close to one another. It's almost as if you are failing your way to success. So oftentimes we get the no and we think we're on this side of it. Not at all. You're actually just moving more towards your success. So I hope that, my random thoughts of the day actually inspire you to either, get yourself consistent and go for that no, to focus on the action, not the result. But that's where I empower you. And then an action that you can take that we're like, okay, well, how do we cast that net wider? How do we open up that warm market? Let me give you an example of something that I have done recently that may help you in your business. So we often look at our warm market as our Facebook audience or people that we already know. Now, I totally will tell y'all, I grew my business on Facebook. I absolutely grew my business via attraction marketing, simply posting on what these amazing products have done for me and why people should give them a try. What I have done to open up my market is look at pages that are in my surrounding area and started making contacts with people in the Prosper area, just saying, hi, I'm new to Prosper, or hey, I've lived in, and here's the thing, you don't have to be new to your area. Hi, I live in this area and I'm just looking at making additional, contacts, in Allen, in Prosper, in McKinney, in Frisco, wherever your area might be. And I know those were all Texas, but my South Dakota people in, South Dakota, wherever, I don't know your counties, so, or your cities. But so here we go, is that we are opening our network up. We're adding them on Facebook, and then we are, again, attraction marketing those new people. I've made, in the last 2 weeks, an additional probably 30 friends on Facebook, because, of course, I have way more to friend, but I'm not going to Facebook jail. I'm doing it a few a day. However, I'm now making sure my posts are attractive. I am networking, in such a way that I'm bringing people towards me. Now, is this going to pay off tomorrow? No, it's not. But if I'm consistent in my business, and if I'm consistent in reaching out to new people and posting content, then I'm planting those seeds for a successful 60, 90 days from now.
And I don't think you're alone, Jonna. That's the only other thing I wanted to make sure too, is that everyone feels it, regardless of your rank, regardless of how long you've been in the business. We all experience that initial momentum, or maybe you haven't. And it really does come down to, and I love all of Rainy's examples. And the only other thing I will mention that I forgot in my leadership recap is that we do have, as of today, new shareables for the triplex. And again, this is a great thing that you can use to go circle back with so many that we need to follow up with. Or maybe someone asked us initially for information and you kind of fumbled your way through explaining and then sent them your website, because you maybe didn't know initially what to say or how to say it. We didn't have the materials available. Y'all, the digital brochure that we saw is beautiful. It explains each of the products and how they work. Our team, we use the Jill Warness video over and over and over again on YouTube. But what a great option now to have more materials at hand to say, oh my gosh, we just had this new information come out. I would love to get it in your hands. It's a great way to circle back without having to do much, but it gets you in front of your audience again. So look in your back office for those shareables on Triplex.
Absolutely. And I think that is so important, Jonna. You are not alone. And like Jen said, I don't think it matters your rank. I don't think it matters if you entered this business and you had, such momentum and you got yourself all the way to silver and then it died down for you. And what, we kind of say failure way to success, but then we look at maybe someone like a Celeste and we say, well, where was her failure in this? And I'm going to say we're all in different spaces in our life. Some of us need additional personal development than others. Some of us just are fortunate that have a network that will buy into it sooner, right? But the point is that just like Celeste, and I don't know that you were there, Jonna, to hear this, but Celeste said, Jen Hawkins, she used the word stalked. I'm pretty sure it wasn't stalked, but Jen Hawkins, it took her 9 months to get Celeste to hear about the opportunity. And the point is don't give up on that person who could potentially be your rock star. Don't give up on your future self, and definitely don't give up on the possibility of recruiting up. I get that some of us have to get out of our comfort zone for that. It's easy to talk to the single mama that you think needs help, or the worn out waitress at the grocery store. But what about that influencer at church? What about that, what you may perceive as a hoity-toity PTA president? What about that person? I guarantee you that those are the people you need to be going for in life, because your influencers, your volunteers at church, at school, in the community, at work, look at the ones that volunteer their time outside of their day-to-day, the have-tos. Those are the people. I guarantee you Jen was that person. I guarantee you Karen Runyon's been that person. I know Carmen Jeter's been that person. Jonna, I would bet you've been that person, and Lauren, and I could name every single one of you on this call, because what I know is that every single one of you on this call are leaders, because week after week you show up, and those that show up will always go up. It may take you a little bit more time than the person next to you, but just like that post I made yesterday, stop it. Stop comparing yourself to somebody else, because I guarantee you that you're building a legacy for generations to come if you just simply stick with it. So I think there was a question that came in. Okay, yeah. So Kelly Lee said that she had some crickets and it's time to follow up and reach out to those people again. I've always said in a joking manner, unless they die or join somebody else's team, that they're going to get a follow-up call from me.
Hey guys, I have a quick question. If I wanted to invite someone to Super Saturday, how do I get them an extra ticket? Like I know I can, do I register twice under myself?
Okay, I don't know the answer to that question, Karen. You may have to call into customer service. I know it can be done, because I had several people last year come to Denver that weren't ambassadors. But they got their own ticket. So it may be a matter of them getting online and you walking them through that registration process. The funny thing is because since I've always been a speaker, I've always had my registration taken care of. So I've never actually gone through the registration process. So I think the best place to route you is back to customer service and find out the answer to that.
Okay.
Sorry.
For some reason, I think that there was in the past, there's been an option that you can buy more than one ticket. You may not be able to put their name on it. I can't remember either. Like I agree with Rainey, but
yeah, no, Super Saturday, just for the clarification, is not just for ambassadors, because I had several people. Now you do have to go on and register for it, but it's not just for ambassadors. Now, I always let people know there's a lot of ambassador training there. So this is probably for somebody who, the great thing is in all locations, there will be an opportunity meeting the night before. So, if you are wanting to bring a guest, that would be a great place to bring a guest to. They don't have to register for that, but, but the actual training on Super Saturday, they do.
Well, and I think it's a great thing to just have one extra ticket, because you sign somebody up, in December, they're going to want to come, but it'll be sold out. So then you can bring your ambassador.
Great point.
It's a great, even, I agree, for somebody who signs on that's a business builder, even an incentive for, if you have, like you leave it at hey, this location's sold out, but I'm giving this ticket away for, person who does XYZ. So if we have that option, I would highly encourage you leaders to buy more than, to buy an extra ticket. Nobody needs to go in debt buying tickets, but one extra ticket won't do that.
Anybody else have anything?
I have a question about how much does it cost to go to Super Saturday, just on average? Do you know?
I want to say it's ranged anywhere from $20 to $35. I mean, I honestly don't remember, but I want to say last year was a little bit more expensive because they were, with your registration, you also were gifted a success kit because that's what we trained on last year. So yeah, so usually about $19. And I want to say last year was a little bit more than that because of the success kit.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to, of course, buy mine, and I'm planning to come to Texas. But I'm also really trying to encourage my ambassador for her to come with me, and I'm struggling with that. But so I wanted to buy it, like 2 tickets, just like what was mentioned. If somebody were to sign under me, I want them to have an opportunity, and for me to give them a ticket or whatever, a ticket available, in case they are sold out or whatever. So
and I also want to just say, you may want to buy them that ticket for the location you're in, because now you may be adding an extra expense on someone to come to Dallas. I don't know how far is Dallas.
But they would be riding. See, Little Rock it's 4 hours away. Little Rock is.
Okay, good. I couldn't remember.
So Texas is a little under 7 hours